of the apartment. It's about 45 degrees back for you back in the States. I think that's about 5 Celsius. It's still cold, but it's sunny. And we're at Druzhba Lake, and we're gonna walk around. And our topic today, we've been discussing, is work versus travel. But we want to discuss it kind of from a couple different angles. Why do you work? You know, what work do you do? Is it for meaning? Is it to just get money? And if you were like us, it was just to get money to travel. So then what is travel? You know, is it a vacation? Is it a career choice? Is it lifestyle preference? You know, if Olga could just travel the world and visit the puppies and kitties, and maybe a horse and a camel now and then. Hi, Dobry den. Springtime. Got some water feature. Ever since we've been to the Buddhists, I talk about water feature now. So, you know, I interviewed you first. Why did you work? And you...
Money.
Yeah.
Usually with a goal in mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And for you, from a very early age, that goal was travel.
Yeah, well, specifically, I went back to Bonaire because I grew up there, and then I found myself in Holland, didn't like it. And the summers were very long and unhappy. And I thought, oh my God, I could be there instead of here. So that's what happened. I worked on the marketplace. It was my first job every Saturday. Saved all the money. At the end of the year and the school year, I'd go to Bonaire. That's kind of how it started.
Okay, so moving into adult life now,
Yeah.
where other people have careers and, you know, work choices, or maybe they do the job that their dad did in the plant, and that went for 30 years. And that doesn't happen so much anymore. Now with all this high tech, we've been through .com, now Zoom, and now AI is changing the landscape, and they're calling it productivity, but they're talking about fewer people working.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. Already it's in play. Look at the supermarkets. These computers, there's hardly a person around to check you out. So it's already happening. Try to phone call, you're already getting, you know, answering machine. Barely ever get a human. So I'm not sure where you're going with that, but yeah, it's getting hard, I'm sure.
Well, I'm coming back to what do you do for work? Is it your karma? Is it your dharma? Right? Are you just put in a circumstance where you have to do it?
Well, in my case, and I think everybody's case, but not everybody would admit to it or understands that or whatever, it is what it is. It goes a certain way, and you have to be pragmatic about life. So, you know, I got married, had children, would like to work, but you have the situation that you're in, and so I ended up working in a child care facility at first, in the gym. It went on from there, because life does do that.
Well, when you told me you made your break and got to Bonaire, which is Olga's island in the Caribbean that she always talks
Still
about,
my favorite.
and you went through that series of things. You had a place to stay while you landed, and you started making bikinis, and you hung out by the pool at the hotel, and then you rented your own place. Now,
Life kicks in.
now this is kind of what I'm talking about. What everybody struggles with.
Then something
I mean,
happens.
we're retired,
Yeah.
so these things are kind of memories for us, but we face it because of the people we meet all the time. Oh, I'm here for 2 weeks. Oh, to be able to travel. Oh, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't know what how to make sense of that, because I am very strongly into karma is what it is, and you get your thing.
okay, so, but we can reduce it to, down to daily things. Do I have a place to stay?
Yeah.
Do I have some food?
Basics.
Do I have clothes to wear? Right?
Basics. Yeah.
You know, am I healthy?
Yeah.
So that we can look, and that happens to everyone everywhere.
Yeah. We have certain things we need, requirements to continue to sustain life on Earth. You know, you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to be safe.
So you had some a skill set that you could crochet.
Yeah, and that happened by accident. I was bored. I had nothing to do. I was in the house. I going to do? You're going to start doing stuff and find out what you can do. I mean, I tried sketching portraits. That was not a thing for me. Was not an option. So, you know, you get where you can go, which is knitting.
Well, the ideal thing is, you know, I collect coins, not avidly, but then I had a small business, I still do when we're back in the States, of selling on eBay. And it only amounts to us having coffee money when we travel.
Yeah, but that's a biggie.
But it's something, and this is one of the things they say, if you want to start your own business, which a lot of people are always talking about, entrepreneurship, you had some skills that you were able to apply and make bikinis and sell them.
Yeah, but that only was for certain times in my life. Honestly, I always preferred to have a job because I didn't have any worries about the business. Yeah, you don't take that stuff home with you. You just show up for work, you do the work best you can, you get a paycheck. I liked that.
Okay, that puts us immediately into the work versus travel category, because now you have to work. Now they're depending on you. You get a week, a year, or 2 weeks off, and if you want more than that, they think you're crazy, right? So
then you have to prepare your travel by making money, putting it away, and then you know, a lot of young people quit their job, go on a year trip, whatever, then they go back and they find another job. That is also a model for a while, you know, unless you're trying to have a career. Then again, these days, people work on their computers, which is something I never did. I was never able to make money with my computer.
Yeah.
But that's
well,
a modern thing.
COVID helped with that, because it brought in Zoom and work from home and these kind of things. And a lot of people don't want to go back to an office. They've taken to that lifestyle. And this is, I think, feeding the digital nomad idea.
And then there are traveling jobs. For example, I'm not a yoga teacher, but had I been one, I could have made money all over the place. You know, they have a skill set that transports. It's their body, it's their knowledge. They go, set up shop, have some yoga going on for a month or however long they want to be there, and move on. So that's another option.
Well, we have seen a couple of things as we've traveled, and one was house sitting. We've done it very rarely, and mostly just if a friend goes out of town. But there are house sitting jobs or pet sitting jobs. The young kids can be woofers or work on an organic farm or something where they get their lodging, they get to go live in another country. We worked at Yellowstone.
That's also true.
We had accommodations provided, and it was okay pay, and we had a contract bonus that allowed us to go to 3 countries afterwards. These are the ideas. It's a travel versus work.
Well, the 70s, I know we're out of that, but you could go to a kibbutz in Israel, and a lot of people did. They would just work, they had the weekends off, they made a little money, and they were able to see the country and travel a little bit. That was one way to go. I know a lot of folks who did that. I did not. I went to Israel and I traveled.
There's a little park up here on the hill, bordering the edge of the lake. It's kind of cute.
And actually, it's not that cold.
No.
It's warming up. Good.
Well, getting back to work, like, there are people that do the work, they're architects, they're engineers, and they love what they do. And that's a part of their life and meaning in their life. I won't say the rest of us, but for a lot of us, it's just making money so we can live or survive.
Yes, but...
Or to travel.
Yes, but because you made a little light of that, even my simple jobs became, at some point, part of my false identity. I was a school bus driver. I did that for 3 years, and the day that I walked away from that, I'm like, oh my God, you know, what am I gonna do? I drive. I like the big wheel. I like sitting up high. I like, you know, and it's like gone. And it took some adjusting.
So we identify with all these things.
It's not just a job. It's actually your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
It becomes part of your life, your daily routine, and you know, so it keeps you sane.
We see these biographies of people who, like, maybe they came out of nowhere, they were heroes in the war, they went back and they ended up being you know, a shopkeeper or a university professor later in their life. But that main event keeps being the war memory.
Because that was the thing, that was big.
Yeah.
Now what, right? So also people get in mental trouble quitting their job, going into retirement because, oh my God, first of all, now you have to spend all the time with your wife or whoever.
Well, we have all these.
Hi and bye, and now you have to deal
We
with
have all these phrases now. Empty nest,
Oh, yeah,
right?
That's what.
you know,
Yeah.
postpartum. You know, it's
Well,
like.
But they're there for a reason. This is stuff that people can go through, and some more than others, you know. So retirement isn't easy for everybody, and I actually almost don't recommend it.
I've been hearing.
You better have some hobbies lined up, some things that you like to do, and kick your own butt and go do them to stay active because active.
Well, that's your healthy lifestyle with
Yes.
active
You must
running,
get out of the
yoga.
house and do stuff. Yeah. And do healthy things.
I've been hearing this post-COVID thing.
Feel good. Yeah.
You know, and they measure it like, oh, it's back to pre-COVID level.
Well, it's just.
But everything's changed.
Yeah,
People didn't go back to. They didn't stop ordering food in.
Yeah,
This is how they do it. That's how they do it now. And you know, and this thing about, oh, I'm not there. I'm not in that. Everything's changed. This happens to us every week, huh?
I'm not sure. Well,
We're not just in a different setting. We're in a different country.
Yeah. Yeah. And you still act like an American waving at people, and they're like looking at you like,
Yeah,
what?
I love them. I have gotten.
Don't do that here.
I told you the other day, I have gotten it's an admiration for people. It's amazing. It just percolated to the surface.
Kids are incredibly resourceful and adjust to any circumstance that is put.
Actually, I'm concluding that this is one of the miracles in America is that the immigrants bring that. And if we try to crimp it and keep it all what we think it's supposed to be, it's going to go through
It's not good. Yeah.
a level of decline, just like any other old culture. Okay, it opened up again.
Oh, I see a horse. You know where we're going.
Oh boy.
We're gonna go say hi to the horse.
Okay. Well, I discovered that in Thailand, that nothing would keep Olga from the beach except the horse.
Old love, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. There's a magpie with the beautiful black and white and the long tail. Okay, Olga's going to see the horse. He's out in the field, tied to a pole, but at least he gets to graze, huh? Yeah. A bird came to visit. It's a cool April day here in Sofia, Bulgaria. Hi, buddy. You got winter hair? Uh-huh. Yeah, you could get a big handful of grass over here, right behind you.
I don't speak your language.
Hi. We're from America. I think so. They love grass. It's the best way to make him. It's the best way to make him your quick friend. That's the good stuff, you know. I've seen it even with cows that wouldn't approach me. If I got a big hand of the good stuff, they come over. Hi. Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know, but doesn't appear so. When he starts knowing what it is you're coming with, then his attitude changes. Hi, kid. Huh? Yeah? Oh. There you go. Now you're talking. Huh? Oh. There you go. Hi, friend. Huh? Hey, that's Olga. Beautiful horse, huh? Well, why you travel and what work you do. We were actually grooms. We were grooms for a year in New York and Canada and Kentucky and Florida, and Olga loved every day of it. We remember those things sort of under the surface, but we forget from day to day. Because Olga get a half an hour of this, it's like therapy. And the horse likes it too. All right, very good. I saw some ducks flying overhead. And then they come back and land on the lake. And a change from yesterday is yesterday this was frozen. So today it's thawed out. And they said by Sunday it'll be 66, which would be like maybe 16 or 17 Celsius. Anyway, we're here for the experience of the cool weather. People like their dogs. I can still feel cold holding the camera. So getting back to our topic on the subject of work, if you can, do what you like.
Yeah, and go with your excellence.
Yeah, go with your excellence.
Go with what you're good at.
And you'll do better and probably be happier. On the travel side, we would say, giving advice to people, start now. Even if you can't travel immediately, start planning and make short trips. Hi, meow meow. Kochka. Okay, somebody's feeding them.
Look at that, a little
Yeah. Yeah. A tablecloth and an old umbrella, and they got a boutique hotel. I like these little domed buildings. So with what we've seen here, there is some attraction. Maybe we'll come in a little warmer climate and get out to the mountain. I'm gonna pan around because I can see the mountain now with the snow on it. That's probably 10 miles out of town, but there's got to be camping and, you know, sporting activities and.
Yeah. For mountains though, you can't underestimate them. You have to have the gear. You have to be able to stay warm and bring things so that you don't run out or you don't.
Olga told me this morning when she took off on her first adventure, she had a
I told my mom
one-man tent.
I had 100 guilders, and I said I'm coming home with a backpack, a tent, and a sleeping bag. And she goes, "That's not possible." And I went inside the store, and the guy said, "That's not possible." However, I happen to have something upstairs. I mean, it's 3 years old. It's been there forever. If you wouldn't be interested in that, and he took it. He grabbed it and he brought it. I said,
Were you interested in that?
I was interested. It was a little tent. Was perfect. I got the sleeping bag and I got the tent for almost nothing. So I mean, it was exactly 100.
So that was a start. How long after that till you traveled?
That was the year before I went to Israel.
Okay, so 1 year before she started putting the things together.
Yeah.
And then I know you've told me about fantastic trips, but you've also had some duds where you limped home and
Tell me about that, because I'm not connecting the dots here.
you told me you went in the tent one day and said, I give up. I'm not going on.
Oh, yeah, but that was, I was in a mental state, mental circumstances, and I was trying to get myself back to normal, back to out, and wasn't quite successful. I had to go through a couple of years of difficulty, mental difficulty.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. I said, that's why I said start small, try to keep your expectations down, just go out and see what's there.
Yeah, keep going, because it did help.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
We wouldn't have come here up until maybe this last year. We would not have come here.
Yeah.
And now we will come here, and
Yeah.
we may come again. And that's a big change.
That was Cyprus as well. I didn't want to go to Cyprus for political reasons. It just seemed like it's not quite safe, which it wasn't for a while, but now it's just fine.
So this is after a decade being out traveling, and 61 countries now. And
But you know, we met the German couple. They were slightly 5 years younger than us. And they had gone with a camper van through Iraq, Iran,
Afghanistan.
And we're like, what? And they were like, oh, it was great. And I'm like, okay, we have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a start.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
That means back in the warm eating soup. This has been really fun. The athlete. There you go.